Kia ora te iwi, nau mai hoki mai ki Bruce Pulman Park, takanini ki te pāwhutupōro rangatahi whakaataitai a motu. Ko Maya Williams tēnei, maua ko Sean Wilkie, he kai whakapāho mō tēnei rā. Sean, we just finished our fourth of our broadcast games here on the finals field. Incredible venue. The touch in that one was almost like a game of two halves. It seemed like that really come out hot in that first half and again in the second half, but then it sort of faded away as the game went on. Waikato getting up over that. You made a comment at the end of the game with regards to a very Waikato coached style of play. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of some very well-drilled Waikato teams, and they tend to have a particular style to them. That was clearly evident there in the way they defended, the way they attacked. They sort of have this aura about them, which is awesome to see. Heoi anō, he kemu tino miharo kei te hara mai, he kemu o ngā wahine, Bay of Plenty versus Manawatu. I'm sure we're going to be in for a spectacle here. The results for both teams pretty similar. A couple of losses, a few wins here. But I'm sure because of the competitiveness of the grade, there's only 8 teams, means they'll play everyone once before they go to the round robins. And on the screen here, we see the Manawatu 18 girls team. Can't look quite far past the coach, Gary Riley. Quite a big name down there in the Manawatu, helping out with Manukura as well. So I'm sure he'll have a well-drilled outfit here in the Manawatu girls.
Yeah, I'm really surprised at those results, to tell you the truth, Sean, particularly with regards to Bay of Plenty. When you have a player like Collier, Terini and Irahe, I've watched them a number of times in secondary schools and at this tournament again, and they are guns. So surprising to see that they have had as many losses as they have, but they're probably just warming up, getting ready for the big dance tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll see them bring their best here when they're on the finals field.
Yeah, and as we see on the bottom of our screen there, we've got a QR code for the home ground heroes. Scan that, nominate your home ground heroes. They go on the chance to win $5,000 to send back to their community within the touch community. There's 5 up for grabs. So we all know a home ground hero that is very deserving of this opportunity. So please, every time that pops up on the bottom of your screen, scan it, put in your nominations, and then we will be able to see all of the amazing people out in our community.
Doreen Hippie, one of my favourite refs, gets us started in this 5th live game of our broadcast here today. Matere Ratima and Kobe Rupatini join Doreen for this one. Manawatu just taking it easy as they work their way up here, now attacking this left-hand side. Not dying with the ball, really like that there from the winger from Manawatu. Kahurangi Skara. When you have a surname Skara, and you're wearing the Manawatu uniform, everyone's going to think you're a sister.
Yeah, I reckon, and I think no better name to carry on the back of your jersey there as we see Manawatu hot on attack down the left-hand flank. Bay of Plenty defending it well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Collier. She has got gas. She makes the game of touch look effortless.
Manawatu, the ball
Forward
probably
pass.
just slipping out of their hands a little bit awkwardly there. The intent was in the right place. Unfortunately, the execution not quite there.
If you could change one rule in the game of touch, what would it be?
Oh, maybe dummy half scoring, I think.
Well, you want the dummy half to be able to score?
Yeah, well, I've seen it a few times. So,
well, I must say, when that was a rule back in my heyday, I got my first and last try ever in 10 seasons. You could actually score. Did you know that? Dummy half used to be able to score?
Well, I did hear that because we were lucky enough to be coached by the one and only Peter Walters, where all he managed to talk about was himself for a fair while there. So we've heard a few memories.
If anyone's allowed, he is.
Absolutely, especially when you walk around the World Cup with prestige like he does.
Dummy half could score. That's interesting. I was not expecting you to say that. Why? Why would you want to change that?
I just think it would be an interesting adjustment to the game. Not that I often find myself at dummy half, but I think it might be an opportunity for me to open up my own attacking game potentially. But
hard enough to defend now as it is when dummy half can't. I can only imagine how much harder it would be then. Manawatu, though, back down the attacking end. Neve Blake, the number 1 from Manawatu, looking promising there. Good touch from Bay of Plenty. Here she is, Collier, starting the set. Nice direct start to that set. Oh, lovely little dummy. Mackenzie, number 4 for Bay of Plenty. It's a good set here from Bay of Plenty.
Yeah, some great yards, met by a meaningful touch on that far-hand side. It's interesting to see Bay of Plenty are pretty direct with their yards. They're not looking to check off too many times to get them behind, but they've found a good flow on the back of their yards here.
Meaningful touch. If I was still refereeing, I'd definitely blow a penalty for a hard touch and go, too meaningful. I wonder how that would be received.
Yeah, I think it would add a little bit of humour to the game for sure. It might even calm down the people that are handing out those meaningful touches. There's a few of them going round.
I shouldn't really be inventing things to make players hate me even more, should I? Bay of Plenty, good set of defence. Collier not on for this set of attack. Just out of the rotation as they work their way across to the sub-box. Tirini also prolific attacking weapon. Here we see now the subs rotate into the middle.
Be interesting to see what Bay of Plenty come up with here. It's probably the first real opportunity we've seen for them to have a strike on the line. Penalty is blown. They've managed to draw a penalty. So now it'll be the real opportunity to see 6 touches and see what they've got.
Yeah, Akuhata with a big dive. Didn't get there this time. She'll want to have another crack.
The crossover in the middle. They go to the short side, the left to right long ball.
Match it with that left to right, not forward this time. Good work there.
They go for the short play on that close side. Great footwork.
Oh. Said her name at the start of the game, Tirini. Akisha Tirini.
Wow, she just made that look rather effortless. I'd be intrigued to see what else she can do in the later stages of this game. I didn't see the short side option as being the option, but she created the opportunity for herself in what looked like was going to be a walkover try.
Yeah, the timing onto the ball and the line that she ran, superb. We see her there lifting up the number 2 for Bay of Plenty. Heavily strapped on that right leg. Potentially a quad hamstring issue.
And unfortunately, in fixtures like what we have this weekend, where they are potentially playing 7 games, Friday, Saturday, there's no time to sort of carry injuries. We see
Jada Ropatini, straight through. Focused on Bay, and Jada just goes straight through. Doing everything I can to hold back, saying like hot knife through butter. Here we see Ropatini using her speed. Nice, just held the ball up there. Held the defender off, now looking to connect, and there she does. Connects with number 16. Terina Larson from Manawatu, who dots down for Manawatu's first touchdown and the game's first one too. 1-0 Manawatu.
Yeah, I think if I know Gary Riley too well, he'll be down there telling the girls off the back of that set how successful they became, just to head down straight through the middle again, just like they were. And I'd say they'll probably be looking for the same play again on this passage here.
Yep, keep milking the cow till it runs dry. If it works once, see if it can go again. See them now coming back to the middle. Set the same platform up. Strong drive here from Taylor Singh.
Just a change up on the options there. Enough to be able to draw the penalty. Instead of going for the scoop short side, she played the option back to the splitter. Maybe not the option there, but it might be the one that does come later on in the game.
Singh now drives around the back. Playlet.
Looking expansive on touch one. Brave. Not probably what Gary Riley had in the playbook there, but we see a strong exit coming here from the Bay of Plenty side.
You're still throwing me with your dummy half can score, so I need to change my question. If you could get rid of a rule, not change, if you could get rid of one, what would it be and why?
Oh, you put me on the spot here. I think maybe the rolling penalties later in the end of the game. If someone doesn't roll off the line and and it's hard to say because I want it to be in the dying minutes of the game, but it has to be consistent throughout. There's just opportunities there when there's purposeful not rolling off the line. I think it just needs to be a tee straight off the bat instead of giving 3 penalties.
Yeah, you see that a lot. Like in the game of touch, I guess there's a real philosophy around the rules are the rules for the entire game. And I'm not saying that's different in any sport, but there are a lot of adjustments in other sports in terms of, like you think about, basketball, etc., those types of ones, that this thing happens in the last 2 minutes of each quarter or in the last 5 minutes of the half. And I just wonder what evolution there can be in that space, because someone not rolling off the line in the first minute when the score's 1-0, not such an issue. When it's 8-9 with 1 minute or 30 seconds to go, significantly more impact on the game. But here we see Bay of Plenty looking like they're going to get across for their first touchdown.
Well, back to that point there about the penalty, and it relates to all sports because that tactic isn't necessarily used in the first minute. Yes, we're not trying to chew up the clock with 13 minutes left in the first half and then another 15 in the second half. That officiating doesn't come into play. However, when it comes late in the game, then that's when we need to start looking for it.
Talking about officiating, one of the top referees in the world, but only the second best in the Valley, John Dusto, was just up here with us. Good to see him. Well, that's probably a lie, but haven't seen him on the live stream games. He tends to save himself for the last game of the tournament, he tells me. Bay of Plenty, though, down the outside. Good touch, Manawatu. Here's Collier now on an attack. I'd be hoping to see her on the end of a nice, strong drive. Seeing her scooping through. Get to see the gas that she has. Here she is, setting it up. Oh, great work there from the Bay of Plenty. Set up. Now she's getting in behind. Earned her team a penalty.
Yeah, she said it was a name to look out for at the start of the game. And as I see the name to the face, a standout in the secondary schools for the last 2 years, a Manawatu standout. And she goes to show you exactly why. Oh, unlucky there. Drawing the penalty nonetheless. Just catching the face of the link, unfortunately, there. But
yeah, I didn't quite get it out. But number 8, Gardner, for Bay of Plenty, just the way she really got into the back of, in behind the defence for Manawatu for that set up for Collier. It was great work. We see her again. Obviously one of the key setting players in the Bay of Plenty team.
Just some great direction there from Collier. She spreading the load a little bit, just enough to be able to keep the defence guessing, so they're not sure that it's her or if it's someone else as she goes low there for a dive. Touch made.
Yeah.
A great strike nonetheless.
Multi-skilled. So many options, does Collier. Fortunately, there, Bay of Plenty probably just closing their space up when setting that one up. She is now straight back to Gardner, who throws left to right. Step by the winger. The Bay of Plenty winger's calling in a touch. Referee agrees.
Yeah, Manawatu have done well there. Not only did the winger hustle out very well to make that touch, it just seemed like everyone was on the same page. They were moving like a chain back and forward across that line. They've defended well. They keep the score to 0, and they've got a good yard set coming out here.
Time's flying. 4 minutes left in this, the first half. The fifth of our live stream games here on the broadcast. Shout out to Carlton Māori, platform that this is going out on, as well as YouTube. You can jump on the Touch New Zealand website if you're wondering how to, well, you're already on it effectively, so no use me telling you, just in case your friends are wondering how they get to it. Share with them how you got there, or go on YouTube, Touch NZ page, and they'll be able to get it through there.
As we see the on-field referee really laying the law down there. I've had the privilege of being a player officiated by her in the past, and there sure is no getting away with any little sneakies that you might think you can. A great referee. Probably the first time we've seen Manawatu looking to attack the line with a fresh set of 6 for a while now, and it's interesting to see the plays they do decide to go with. They've gone from one side of the field to the other, running plays on the both sides. And it'll be interesting to see their play of choice for the final play here, whether or not they'll go back to those links. They settle for the middle with a sweep coming round. Just a bit of confusion there. The touch was made, 6 the handover call.
The reason I ask you about the rule change is the amount of times I see some beautiful touch played, great set up by the attacking team, excellent manipulation, that beat the defenders, and this beautiful long ball gets thrown, and the winger catches it without a defender within 20 metres of them, and yes, it's gone forward sometimes a metre, 2 metres or 3 metres. I'm just like, that play was just so incredible. They get ripped off by not being able to get the touchdown. Now, you can't just, I guess, say you're allowed to throw forward passes when there's no one around you, or maybe you can, I'm not sure, but so many good tries has been wrecked by a referee, unfortunately, having to give it a forward pass.
Yeah, I might get greedy here and jump on the back of that and say, if it goes backwards out of the hand, I've seen and I've heard that a few times, especially when I've stood in the position of thinking that I was defending well and then get told that the pass, no, it wasn't forward, it was backwards out of the hand. Yeah. So if that became a universal rule, I could definitely get on the back of that.
There's some terrible rules, but that's the worst ever. I hated that when that come in. Let's take away a black and white, very clear and obvious interpretation, and let's make it as difficult as we can. All in the agenda of trying to think that we're smart. Anyway, Manawatu, good touch. Got off the line nice and early. Thought there might be a penalty there for short of the 7.
Bay of Plenty done really well there to get back. Even though they're under pressure, the Manawatu strike attack players done really well to get in behind, to find that extra space in behind there, but Bay of Plenty's done equally just as well to get back in time. Bay of Plenty, fresh legs coming on. A little bit slower than we saw in the start of the first half. Just over a minute remaining, and I'm sure they're looking forward to a wee break.
Bay of Plenty love to score one before the halftime break, to even this one up. The battle really has been getting to the other end. Terini, I'm pretty sure that's a lovely setup. I'm sure the tape around her legs are a hoax. I hope it is, because she still looks like, here we go. What's happening here? We see the referees just calling time off, consulting with each other on the sideline. Doreen happy. She's happy with what she saw. Gets the all clear, pulls the hand up. 28 seconds to go in the first half. Bay of Plenty get their first touchdown, and we see it here. Terini gets a quickie, gets on the outside. Lovely pass, excellent timing by the winger for Bay of Plenty. The number 6, Maya Moss, with a name like that. She's obviously a legend. 11 seconds to go.
Yeah, great decision there from the referees. I thought they were consulting about something potentially a little bit earlier on in the middle of the field there, but there was no two doubts about that, a clear-cut try.
Kua ringi te pere, kua tū te kemu, ka kite anō hei tera taha.
For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, the mahi never stops. Nominate the unsung heroes in your touch community that go above and beyond. They could win $5,000 to invest into the sport we love. Nominate today.
Kia ora team, George here from Touch NZ. Now we all enjoy a bit of touch, but without a proper warm-up, the chances of being injured are massively increased. So to keep you on the field and out of the emergency room, Touch NZ have made a short and easy warm-up series for all levels, proven to lower the chance of injury by close to 50%. So head on over to our site and check them out. Play safe, play smart.
For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, the mahi never stops. Nominate the unsung heroes in your touch community that go above and beyond. They could win $5,000 to invest into the sport we love. Nominate today.
E te iwi nau mai hoki mai ki konei ki tāmaki makaurau Aotearoa takanini. We're here at Bruce Pulman Park at the Bunnings Youth National Touch Championship. We've had a great display of some awesome pāwhatu throughout the weekend, throughout today, and again the spectacle we have on the screen at the moment. Game 5 of the broadcast. It is the under-18 girls, Manawatu playing Bay of Plenty. Nothing separating the two teams. A few standout performances so far. An exciting second half coming up.
Yeah, hopefully. I actually think, to your point about an exciting second half coming up, as we see the first and the only of Manawatu's touchdowns in that first half. Ropatini with her speed getting through. And then Terini, a name that we talked about pre-game, just setting things up beautifully there. It almost feels like that first half, the lid never come off the bottle. It's sort of like they was trying, but no teams really found their rhythm and really clicked and all on the same page. So be really interested to see after these halftime words from their coaches as to which team can come out and really, like you've said a number of times, with that freedom, just express themselves and play the game that they've trained all prior to this tournament to play.
I'd quite like to see both teams, we talk about the freedom, but somewhat rein it in just a little bit, just to find their feet, control the controllables, execute those 1%ers before starting to look to just to open up things a little bit. And I definitely want to see the freedom. I definitely think that that's how the tries will come. But I think the accuracy is the most important thing. Winning this first 2 minutes, as we've spoken about, is a prominent thing throughout the games this weekend.
Bay of Plenty start us off for the second half. This the under-18 girls grade. Bay of Plenty Manawatu. Nice work there from Gardner. Talked about her in the first half and the way she set things up. Smart player. That's the real vibe that I get from her. Just seeing what she's doing. She really understands the game. Smart player, not just the skills, the pace that she has. Touch IQ. Oh, that was a great set there. And now backed up there from the number 12. Kalani for Manawatu. Excellent set here for Manawatu. Real good flow in that one. Unfortunately couldn't finish.
It's definitely something we talk about. The IQ, the patience, the knowledge of the game. It just seems like they have so much time on the ball. It seems like nothing worries them. And to see it at the 18s level, it's so impressive. And it just only makes you think what standard these young rangatahi are going to get to when they get to the open grades.
She is Gardner getting things underway for Bay of Plenty. Nice and direct. It's obviously something that they're coached. Instead of that angle towards the sub-box, it's no, go straight north. Let's get their momentum forward. Get Manawatu defense on the back foot. Excellent there from Tuara Hape.
Some great footwork coming from the three. Danny from Bay of Plenty. I think touch 5's the call here.
You talk about touch names, and Irihe is definitely probably one of the biggest down in the Bay of Plenty. Oh, nice little catch and pass, gets him behind. We see Ruru setting up her teammate Ripika Smith, the number 12 for Bay of Plenty. Dots down, takes Bay of Plenty 2-1 up now. This is the second half of the under-18 girls.
Typically on touch 5, you think, yep, we've done our job. The set's over. It's time to yard out, but that's where we can't afford to go to sleep, unfortunately. Manawatu there just taking the foot off a little bit, getting a little bit complacent. Bay of Plenty taking advantage, full advantage of what they saw in front of them, and they managed to get a touch 5 try there.
I see that a lot more often than I reckon you should be able to see it. Do you, when I say do you train that, is that something regularly spoken about back at like the club level or in the provincial teams that you're in?
It's definitely not something that people would go out of their way to practice, but I know for sure that there are individuals, combinations, if you want to call them, that know exactly what each other are going to run. For example, in my space, I know exactly what Maddie Sinclair is going to do. As soon as that touch 5 gets called, you almost don't need to look around and think, crap, what are we going to do here? You know exactly what's going to happen. You verse the likes of the playing up. You know exactly what Razor and Finn and Chops are going to do off touch 5. So yes and no. There can be the select few that you know exactly what's going to happen and there's going to be something. The rest of it just off the cuff, and that's what makes it so special.
What about defensively? And that's probably more where I was going with that question in terms of, do you speak about it constantly so that because that's just a lapse in concentration, isn't it, when there's those tries that scored on the back of, on the fifth touch, when there's been a static roll ball.
For sure. On touch 5, often what you'll hear out there is your job's not over, your job's not done, one to get. And that comes down to just going through that effort area, really just biting down, showing the ticker that you do have because the job's not done. You have one more touch to get. Typically teams will compress in and they'll just hone in, one player in and leave the winger completely open. If they get that miracle pass, then we all chase out. So unfortunately, that's not what happened there. But
when you say winger, there's obviously two of them. Are you meaning the far side winger relative to where the ball is?
Yeah, most times as we'll go and just really compress into one side of the field, and we really have our wingers to thank there to be able to give us the trust that we can go one player in, and they do a very well-respected job out there.
2-1 Bay of Plenty. Manawatu look very likely to even things up. Jada Ropatini, hope she doesn't get the ball back. Turn the ball over. This is the near side to our commentary box. It looks like a hot one out there. I talked to a couple of the refs and they said it actually with the sort of regular cloud that comes across, it's actually been quite pleasant to ref in.
Yeah, definitely. I was walking around earlier and you can really feel just how hot the ground is, and I'd say there'd be a few sore arms, few elbows, cut up knees, but very lucky down here in Takanini, Bruce Pulman. They have put on some great fields for the rangatahi to express themselves on.
Nice little sweep around the back by Manawatu. Equally though to defence, read that well. Patini.
See what they can conjure up here. I've seen this combination all too many times between the school scene and the club scene. Manawatu.
Seen both of the teams in this one when they've tried to attack the short side with a quickie, just unfortunately probably taking up a bit of their space in terms of their dragging over to that corner rather than trying to hold the defence more central in the field. Have they got numbers? No, they don't.
For sure. It's something that a lot of coaches will talk about, and we talk about that manipulation of the defence. And for some, it can just be some words on a piece of paper or the words that you hear during the broadcast of the games. But essentially what the teams are trying to do is really work one side of the defence so that they can take the ball to the other side and hopefully cause some sort of a breakdown across the 6 defenders.
I was hoping to get in there. I thought Manawatu would score. I'm probably lucky for Manawatu I didn't, because they wouldn't have. But here we see them get across to even up the game. She set it up in the first half. Ropatini, the number 10, she's using her speed, beat the defender. 2-2. They have Plenty versus Manawatu. Oh, here's what I'd change. Drop off every game. That would be so good. You got 2 points for the win after the full time of the 30 minutes. Then you got another point if you won the drop-off. We should just have drop-offs. The 2020 of touch is, the 2020 of cricket is just drop-offs in touch.
It'd be interesting, very interesting to see it. It'd make for an absolute spectacle, that's for sure. And as we're talking of our new rules we're trying to throw into this game, Bay of Plenty gets one straight back. Wow, great dive there. I think that might be her second of the game.
Yeah, Tarini. I'm telling you, it's a hoax that taping around her leg. She's still lightning quick, diving everywhere, stepping off it as well. Glad to see it's not hindering her much.
There's those extra yards we talk about again. They're just managing to find that extra check, and Bay of Plenty's done well to make that touch still outside of the 7. Manawatu still will get 2 strikes to the line.
You tell me, you've been to the drop-off tournament in Whakatane when they used to have that?
I have been. I have only watched. Our team, we're not fond of drop-offs. However, we probably should head there because it'll give us some practice.
You tell me, was that like the coolest touch that you've ever watched for like a good 2.5 hours?
It's incredible. Unfortunately, I didn't get to head down this year, but wow, you really, truly get to see how much ticker some of the defenders have and then just how much flair some of the attackers have.
Mark the date down today. I'm telling you, there's some innovative tournament directors out there who run many tournaments, both nationally and just some of our little ones. It's coming back.
We might find the birth of the drop-off tournament starting down in Thames. We might see that one pop up in years to come.
We have to play the drop-off down in the valley because there's only 6 of us that play. So, well, that's Pairo rather than the valley. They have plenty. Oh, I like that from Irahe. Gets right in behind, not only 20 metres. Manawatu was that all over the shop now. What can they do with that? Had to be offside. Great decision there from the referee. Just asking the defending player if they made the touch. She said no. Again, we see that honesty, Sean. Great part of touch. Great part of touch in this country anyway.
Yeah, we see the replay here. They've had the extra yards. Great call there. The ball was down regardless. However, great honesty from the Manawatu middle there. Unfortunately, unable to make the touch. The referee just asking for complete honesty, and that was what she was offered to give us.
Rebecca Smith takes Bayapuni out to 4-2. 5 minutes to go, though. Last time Bay scored, Manawatu went down and did it straight away. Again, attacking this left-hand side. Back to the middle. Quickie now. Oh, the pass was on.
I have spoken to the fact that these games just fly past extremely quick. 2 points in at 5 minutes to go. We see them lower the deficit to only 1 here. The play-through calls we'll see coming up in the replay. The quickie in the middle, crossover play. Play-through call, not quite onside. The middle didn't make the touch. The try has been given to Manawatu, only 1 the difference.
Yeah, we had 20 minutes for 2 touchdowns, and now we've had 5 minutes for 5 touchdowns. So that lid I talked about just at the end of the halftime break there, about that lid coming off for this game. And both of these teams have very much now started to express that attacking prowess they have. Collier being quiet in this game. Normally really dominates down the attacking end. Still 4 minutes to go, though.
Yes, as you say, there's some of those names that we have highlighted that haven't so much been taken out of the game by the strength of the defence, but it's just been back and forward. It's been a high-intensity game, both sides. It's been a matter of all 14 players having to step up and really fight for this game. Those extra yards there again in the middle. Manawatu has been doing this really well. Hopefully they can find off the back a real powerful scoop, as we see. Unfortunately, held up in the ruck there. The ball doesn't go. 6 the count.
Kalani, the number 12 from Manawatu, has done a great job of exactly what you've said all game. Just finding those extra yards. You don't catch her jogging. She's at full speed all the time.
And it's people like her that don't get enough appreciation, and there's so many of them in every single team. The people that just go about the work that doesn't get the appreciation. It's the hard yards, it's the hard defence, it's the work that no one else wants to do because it goes unseen. But she's been a truly important part of this Manawatu side and a key to the success of their team so far.
Eddie Hay has really been a standout attacking player here for Bayapuni. The last 3 times she's come on during their transition sets off the sub-box, injected that pace, but not just the pace. She's taken the gap, she's gone in behind the defence on Manawatu, and you can see her here really organising things. She's the director out there. Nelly sets up her teammate there on that left-hand short side.
I must pay an acknowledgement to just the minor skills there by Eddie Hay. She's in the dummy half. Her person going to strike early, she's split forward, she's taken the ball forward. There's no risk of a forward pass there. It's just great micro skills that I'm sure the coaches are stoked to see.
See her here go around back door. What does she do? Again, using her footwork, not just going around and straight for the white line. She's shaped in off her left foot to try and bring the outside shoulder up of the defender and then stepped back out. Good defence equally, Manawatu.
Yes, Tuhiwai Paulson with a very important touch there with just over 1 minute to go. I'd say Manawatu will get at minimum 1 strike on the line. Bayapuni doing absolutely everything they can to try prevent them from getting down to their end. Fresh legs coming on. Manawatu need to get down to at least 10, 15 metres out. Oh, unfortunately the penalty goes for 7 on the field.
Seven on the field. No, actually, that was a question I was going to ask John when I was refereeing last, which seems like an eternity ago. There's 2 rules, incorrect subbing and 7 on the field. And both of those penalties were at different spots. One where the sub occurred, if it was incorrect subbing, and the other on halfway. So I knew back when I was refereeing, probably only 10% of the referees knew that there were 2 rules and there was a difference between where it started. Generally, everyone was just going to halfway, making the penalty. Winnie, though, we can see her there putting her hand to her mouth. Tanika Akuhata. Taniko, sorry.
Yes, I'm going to have to come down to the reffing room this evening for a wānanga on a few of these rules, because some of them are news to me and I'd like to have them in my back pocket heading forward, that's for sure.
Don't go doing what the rules are, otherwise you'll realise how wrong you've been for all these years.
Anyway, before I was really interrupted by this.
Manawatu doing what they can here to try find a little break in behind. Down by 1 with 10 seconds to go. Let's see if they can muster up anything. They need to go now if they're going to go.
You hear the bell go down. She just slaps it down. Did match it to end the game. Great game, and this is what we like too, Sean. They're embracing at the end of both teams. 4-3, Bayapuni over Manawatu. He tanga manoa mō tātou. Tēnā whakatā mai.
Well, I think Sass is staying open till midnight. Oh, there, where? Go.